Hey, what's up guys? Adam here, and it could be argued that your 20s are the most enjoyable, carefree aspect of your life. Maybe fresh out of university, buzzing with energy, eager to start your climb on the corporate ladder. It could also be where you begin to start to shape your life and really decide where you want to pursue your life in the future. However, it could also be said and classed as one of the most challenging times, as there tends to be a lot of added responsibility that you didn't really have in your teenage years. Questions like, when are you looking to buy a new home? When are you looking to get married? When are you looking to have children? And sometimes these kind of questions and thoughts can start to become overwhelming. Then in addition to all this, you have to factor in the financial aspect of life as well, a lot of which is not taught in school. So unless you've got parents that pass down some really good financial knowledge to you whilst you was growing up, a lot of what's out there may actually come across as quite a shock. Even things like taxes and working out how to fill out a self-assessment are hardly ever covered within the education system. So in this video, we're going to be going over 5 ways that you can manage your money in your 20s. So without any further ado, let's get right into the video. So the first money management tip that we're going to be taking a look at today is paying yourself first. So right off the bat, this may come across as a strange one. You know, what exactly do I mean when I say pay yourself first? Well, typically, most people actually set or schedule things like their direct debit payments, their expenses, and their debt to come out on the day they get paid. Now, that's completely fine. Keep doing that. But what normally happens after that point is the remaining balance that is left tends to go to all sorts of random things that can't really be tracked or traced, or people tend to overspend with that remaining balance. Then when they actually get to the end of the month, they have very little to show for it, or in most cases, they end up in their overdraft. Now, usually there are some funds that may be left over, and people will try and shovel those funds into a savings account at the very last minute, but that is what we actually call paying yourself last, which, to be honest, if you're working hard for your money, the last thing you really want to do is pay yourself last, right? So instead, you want to pay yourself first. If you have a general savings account, why not set up a standing order so when you get paid, a portion of your income actually goes directly into your savings account? You could also set up a stocks and shares ISA. So you know how much we talk about stocks and shares ISAs on this channel, and set up a direct debit that you can deposit funds into. Or you may, for example, have a house deposit that you want to save up for. So once again, you can schedule some of your income to go towards that house deposit. And by doing this, you know from the word go that you're setting money aside for your future goals and your savings pots. Now, remember I said in my pensions video, pensions actually come out on the day that you get paid, just like payee tax. And if you've already signed up to, say, a workplace pension, that money comes out automatically at the click of a finger. You don't have any control over it, and of course it comes out pre-tax. And that is a great way to actually pay yourself first. It doesn't give you the chance to, you know, hum and ha and mess around about thinking, shall I put money away this month? Shall I put money away that month? It's done automatically for you before you have time to think about it. So that is one way to pay yourself first. Obviously, the other way is to actually take money away from your account and manually do it. But of course, that will require you to have some self-discipline. So the second money management tip is to avoid buy now, pay later schemes. Now, we've all seen these buy now, pay later schemes offering things like no interest rate for the first 6 months or up to a year. And if you haven't seen these type of schemes, either number one, you're living under a rock, or number two, you're so against these schemes that they're literally being cut from your peripheral vision. I kind of hope it is the second one, but whatever it is, buy now, pay later schemes can sometimes land people in a lot of hot water, usually because they don't tend to read the terms and conditions, or end up missing payments or making late payments. Now, I get it. We very much live in a here and now society, especially with the power of advertising and marketing. And that's why these schemes tend to do quite well, especially when the deposit or the monthly payment rate can appear quite low. But that is where the cycle and the appetite starts, because as you start to borrow and borrow, your appetite for higher ticket items becomes a lot greater. So you may start within a retail store. You want to finance that item of clothing, but that soon starts to escalate into things like personal loans and car finance. So it is best to avoid these type of schemes right from the get-go. And if you want to save up for a large item like a car, it's best to do that either through cash flow in the amount or using sinking funds. So the next money management tip then is to create a budget. Now this one probably speaks for itself, but if you're in your 20s or you're fast approaching your 20s now, it is really important that you start actively managing your finances and budgeting on a regular basis. Now when I say budgeting, I don't just mean, write out one budget at the start of the year and expect that same budget to hold you throughout the year. It needs to be fairly dynamic so you can change things according to your income and according to certain circumstances that take place on a monthly basis. Now, there are several types of budgeting methods that are out there, everything from the envelope method right to percentage-based budgeting, down to my personal favorite, the zero-based budgeting technique. And this allows you to pretty much track every single pound, every dollar, every euro that is in your account and giving it a certain role and telling it exactly where it needs to go. Now, this prevents you from having a nasty shock at the end of the month thinking, where on earth did my money go? Now, I actually have a budgeting template and it's available from my Etsy store, so I'll leave the link in the description down below, and it's a very straightforward plug and play solution. I also did a full walkthrough video, I'll leave that video in the info card above, about how to actually work through the budgeting template. Now I get it, budgeting is not the most attractive word for a lot of people, but you best believe that those that do really well financially are constantly tracking their spending. So the next money management tip we're going to be taking a look at for your 20s is to avoid lifestyle inflation. Now, lifestyle inflation is one of those areas that can be an incredibly slippery slope. Lifestyle inflation is also what rendered the term keeping up with the Joneses. So what exactly is lifestyle inflation? So lifestyle inflation then is when your spending actually increases in moderation with your income, or in some cases actually exceeds your income. This usually takes place when you get a promotion at work, or you start a new job with a higher salary, or even take on an additional job. Whatever the case may be, you run into some more money and you start splashing out on expensive gifts, holidays, a new car, a large house to try and replicate what someone of your same salary would actually purchase. And the problem with this is that it can actually put you in a much worse position than when you had a much smaller salary. Let's say, for example, you have a person who has £20,000 as their salary and they budget really well, they tend to invest really well, and they live within their means, versus someone who has a £70,000 salary, they're living over their means, they've just bought a new house whereby the monthly mortgage payment is over half their monthly income, they start financing high ticket items, or they pretend to look rich. And as the old saying goes, don't go broke trying to look rich. Now, the final money management tip then for your 20s is to consider getting an additional income. Now, I've purposefully left this open to interpretation, as I have quite a few videos on this channel already talking about the different ways that you can build up an additional income stream. Everything from more passive ways such as buying existing businesses to investing in the stock market, right up to more active methods such as picking up a part-time job or starting your own business. Being able to pick up additional work or additional streams of income whilst you're in your 20s, whilst you're still probably most driven, while you're still fresh and young and full of energy, will allow you to actually reduce the physical work that you do later down the line. And also, having an additional income stream will allow you to build on your asset portfolio, and you can use that asset portfolio to try and push down or reduce your debts and liabilities. So guys, this has been my video on 5 money tips or habits that you can consider in your 20s. And even if you're not in your 20s right now, these tips will still apply. The best time to implement these tips was yesterday, and the second best time to implement them is today. So why not give it a go? So guys, if you enjoyed the video, you know what to do. Smash the like button down below. And if you want to see more videos like this where we talk about personal finance, investing, or documenting my journey to financial freedom and wealth building, be sure to hit the subscribe button down below and hit the notification bell so you get the alert when we upload new videos to this channel. Anyway guys, it's been Adam here. Thank you for watching. Take care, and of course, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.